Hello, hello, what is happening, gang? So I'm back with you again. Now, this time the intro is actually from the gym itself. I'm not doing intro from my house, just to change things up sometimes, you know. So just came to the gym. Not really sure if you can see the light here properly, but just came to the gym now, just setting up my workstation. Today we have an upper body workout. So we're gonna be working on chest and back at the same time. So as you know, on this channel, every time I'm working out, my workouts are different. So I'm trying to switch it up, especially when it comes to like either Saturday or Sunday workouts. Monday to Friday workouts are usually pretty much the same. But when it comes to the weekend, I try and be more dynamical, you know. The workouts are a bit more dynamic. So it's either kettlebells, maybe some calisthenics, yes, some calisthenics, compound exercises, knees over toes exercises. So I try and switch it up now and then. But if you want to see specific workouts on my channel, maybe something a bit more different from what I've already uploaded on this channel, please let me know and I'll be happy to adjust. Or if you got any suggestions that I would like to do on this channel, please let me know. Maybe a Q&A, maybe something else, maybe something different, or some new challenges or things like that. So I'm happy to adapt. I'm happy to adjust towards different workouts. And yeah, we're gonna be starting off with obviously compound movements. We're gonna be throwing in some supersets. We're gonna be throwing in some more intensity for this workout, and it's not gonna be too long, probably around 45 to 50 minutes. Just a couple of exercises, obviously, as always, focusing on the form, on the execution, some time under tension, obviously the weight, progressive overload, pyramid style training, as I usually do. So I start with the lighter weight and I move up the weight as the sets progress. So yeah, let's see what we can get today and let's crack on with the workout. All right, so we have the first working set as we're still slowly warming up. I did like 3 warm-up sets already. All right, so working set, and we're gonna be jumping into some pull-ups. So we're gonna be supersetting today. Let's go. All right, so pull-ups. Hey, pull-ups at 118 kilos. It's quite difficult, you know, but the fact is that I did my first pull-up when I was 19 years old, and I just kept working on my strength, on my power, and then throughout the time, pull-ups started getting a bit easier. Sometimes I do chin-ups, especially when it comes to bicep exercises. Chin-ups are great, but pull-ups as well. One of the compound exercises for the back. Highly recommend if you want to increase the intensity. Bench press, superset with pull-ups. It's an old school type of working out style. This is how guys in golden era used to work out, especially if you look at workouts from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Bench press, superset with pull-ups, because these are the opposite muscle groups. So when you work in one muscle group, for example, for pushing, when it comes to chest, you can also do pulling exercises as the chest is resting. Then you can switch it, starting with let's say rowing, pulling exercise, and then you do pushing exercise, because these are antagonizing muscle groups, so they're completely opposite, and it works quite well. Just a completely different working out style. If you want to try it out, sort of old school type of workout, definitely give it a go. It works quite well. Okay, so just added some extra weight and Gonna carry on with the working sets. Let's go. Oh, all right. Nice set off to supersets. All right, let's get it. Woo! Nice. All right, go another 2 sets, bench with pull-ups. Let's go, let's do it. Okay, got the last set. Bench press. Usually, I try and lift quite heavy, but this is the second time I'm doing chest today, so it's only about 110 kilograms. So I'm just really trying to focus on contraction of the muscle, controlled reps, really feeling the pump whilst working out that way. That's why I always switch in between doing loads of reps, sometimes heavy sets with less reps, and I try and find balance in between. So today I'm trying to work on controlled reps because I can do working sets with 130, 140 kilograms on a bench press. But sometimes when I try and switch it up, especially whilst increasing the intensity, obviously heavier bench. Can't go as heavy because obviously we're doing pull-ups at the same time. So fatigues muscle quite quick, but the pump is appreciated. Okay, so the last set of pull-ups. Let's see how many we can get. Oh boy, definitely feeling the fatigue, but we still managed to do 10, at least 10. At this weight, it's quite challenging, but you just have to keep building the power and momentum. Plus, it's freaking boiling in here. It's so hot, I'm like already sweating, only 2 exercises in. It's like 35 degrees outside, man, and in the gym there's no aircon, only a fan running. So, all right. We do what we gotta do, right? All right, boys and girls, we got another exercise, another compound movement, bent over rows. Really great exercise for the back, especially for the thickness of the back, because the rowing movements, basically they are one of my most favorite, because I've always struggled with pull-ups, so I couldn't do as many pull-ups when I started working out, so I just started focusing on different kinds of rows, dumbbell rows, seated cable rows, especially bent over rows. If I know the weight is too high for me, I might have hand straps, but usually I try and work on my grip strength as well. So I try not to use straps as much, but yeah, bent over rows, keeping your back at a 45-degree angle and rowing into the belly button. So you use your hands and your arms just as hooks. Try not to squeeze too much with your hands because you're gonna definitely feel on your forearm and on your bicep. But if you use your hands just as hooks for the movement of the row, you'll definitely feel a difference, especially when it comes to the tension and the pump in your back. So we just grab the bar like this, keeping the 45-degree angle. Oh, nice, good set. We're gonna be jumping into a superset with some push-ups. Let's do it. Now we're gonna be doing a different style of push-ups. We're gonna be putting our legs on a box. So, just like that. Maybe a bit closer. Nice. So it's just another different variation of push-ups. Works the upper part of your chest and also focuses a little bit more on the shoulders. As you use more body weight, especially if you go deep into the push-up. So if you haven't tried it before, would highly recommend. It's really, really good push-up exercise. Okay, so we got the last set of bent over rows, superset with the push-ups. Let's get it. Oh boy, I'm dying from this heat, man. It's really, really hot. Only got a few exercises left, but man, without aircon, it's a death wish, bro. It's a death wish, but do what we need to do. The show must go on. All right, let's get into push-ups. Let's go. Oh, nice, good set, man. Oh, definitely feeling the pump. All right, I'm gonna carry on to the next exercise now. All right, so the next exercise for the back, we've got some incline dumbbell rows. So there are different variations how you can perform this exercise. You can either place your chest against the bench and just row straight into your hips. Not here, but into the hips. Just like that. Full range of motion. Now another variation, to make it a bit more difficult, you put the knees on the bench. Back stays a bit more straight and upright, and just roll like that. As you can see, the range of motion becomes less, but you feel it more, especially on the lower back. So just to give you more of a, as they call, the Christmas tree effect, the separation between your lower lats, this exercise is really good, especially with this variation that I've just displayed. And if you haven't tried this before, I would highly recommend. What I do is I work in between. So sometimes I would have my chest flat on a bench, and other times I'll put my knees onto this pad over here, put the chest against the top of the bench, and just row always into the hip. So you can work your back, especially your lower lats, especially when it comes to this exercise. If you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend. And of course, today we're supersetting everything. So we've got one of the favorites, incline dumbbell flies. So the reason why I love incline dumbbell flies is because you can achieve the full stretch. The further the dumbbells go, the more stretch you can achieve on your pecs. And as you go up, you fully contract the chest. So the principle of this exercise, similar to cable flies, basically is a tip that I received many years ago. Imagine if you were hugging a big barrel or a tree. So you hug and you squeeze. You go down and you squeeze, because if you start bending your elbows, you take away the tension from your pecs. So you can't achieve a full stretch. And obviously the further away the hands go with a dumbbell, the more tension you're able to apply on the pecs. So the more damage you create, which means the more damage you create to the muscle fibers, the more potential you have of rebuilding those muscle fibers with rest, recovery, protein, and optimal nutrition, which I always advise on this channel. Eating high quality food, high quality protein, having high quality rest, sleeping enough, and most importantly, reducing the stress in your life, because that's gonna directly affect your hormones, your cortisol levels. Your body is not going to recover as quick and as well at the same time. So yeah, we're going to be doing another 2 sets of the superset exercises. Obviously the rows, superset with incline dumbbell flies. And yeah, that will be pretty much it. We're about 40 minutes into the workout, so another 5 minutes and 45-minute workout is more than enough, because after around 45 minutes to 50 minutes of continuous exercise, your testosterone levels start declining. So even though I used to be a firm believer, the longer you spend time in the gym, like 2-3 hours, the better your gains will be. This is not the case. Bodybuilding, weightlifting is not an endurance sport, because if it was, if the more time you spend at the gym would directly correlate with how much potentially gains you can make, bodybuilders would be spending 8-9 hours in a gym, like Rich Piana, 8-hour arm workout, you know, which I don't advise for optimal muscle building. If you want to shock the muscle, yeah, why not? If you want to do it for social media or YouTube, yeah, why not? Just for an experience. But for optimal weightlifting and for progress, 45 minutes to 1 hour of exercise is more than enough to create enough damage. So you don't risk overtraining. You can also recover enough. And if you do it multiple times a week, 4 or 5 times a week, mate, that's like 5 hours of exercise with optimal rest in between, where you can properly rest, properly recover, and build muscle in the same time, whilst also getting stronger too. So for me, it's the best case scenario. Okay, so our workout is pretty much finished. The pump is definitely there. Let's do the usual physique update. Right, so this is the physique right now, and 118 kilograms. Quite satisfied with the progress currently, because I've gained about maybe 1 kilogram and 200 grams now in like a month and a half or something. But yeah, let's do a little posing.